guys, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I decided to talk about what got me into music in the first place because I haven't really talked much about that. I have bios on my website and stuff, but I think hearing it is a very different than just seeing some text on a page. Please share and please like. I should preface this video because I have high functioning autism, so it greatly impacted my journey. Most people start music when they're like 4 or so. I did not. I couldn't listen to music until I was 8 years old. I remember I was screaming and crying as a child in church, so my mom could never get me to a church service because as soon as they started singing, I started bawling my eyes out, and that was the only time I ever cried. And she was just like, and it was loud too. It was loud. And I remember when I was 3 years old, my mom and me would go on the back porch and I would scream my lungs out because my mom was wondering how Ozzy Osbourne got the pipes that he could to sing. And my mom's like, hey, maybe if we could scream, she could scream off the back porch and maybe she'll have pipes in the future. So she did that, and we would make up songs in the car, just like random stuff. Like the only song my mom knows is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and she only knows it somewhat. Great job, Mom. So we would make up songs in the car, just random things, spaced off observations that we saw and other things. So one day I was singing my lungs out. She was like, hey, she should get vocal lessons. So my mom's like, okay, let's get vocal lessons, Selena. Instead of vocal lessons, my mom decided, hey, let's just start with piano first. Let's just start with piano. So we were at my friend's house, and then my mom was driving back, and there's a sign that says piano and guitar lessons, and it had a number. It's like, hey, Selena, we should go do that. I remember the first time I went there, and what I did is I remember turning the lights out and swinging in the chairs and singing at full blast instead of straight up learning how to play the piano. And I think that helped me a lot because I'm a type of person that if something is really fun, I tend to engage with it a lot more. It really helped to build up my creativity in music. I wrote my first song, Serious, when 2 months after I was started the guitar. I started vocal lessons after I started piano lessons, I do believe, at a Pitch Doctors. So I was there for a while. He introduced me to the competition circuit. I was in the first competition I ever was in. I actually won the division I was in. I also went to other competitions. I won Best Singer in the State. I won some minor competitions. First place winner, Platinum Division. This is my big boy. This is the big trophy. That was one of the ones I won. I was in several competitions and I won several different divisions. I actually competed in Best Singer in the district and I won as well. That was a larger competition in my state. And I was the youngest judge on Best Singer in the district, Best Singer in the state. I was 16 years old at the time. I was one of the preliminary judges. So I judged before they had it on the TV screens. But he really, he got me a lot of more discipline in my vocals. But anyway, I had a cousin of mine who was a songwriter, and he had a friend of his that was like, hey, because I was looking and getting vocals recorded for my song Serious. What happened is I went to several studios, and my mom was like, oh goodness, we want to be able to do touch-ups here and touch-ups there, and the studio was like, no, we'll just record her one time and that's it. And my mom was like, no. So basically we went to another studio, and a studio after that, cousin gave us the advice. So we went to KLP. It was great. We've gone to him several times. And we went to a Southeastern Sound studio for 2 songs, and they sounded really good too. Walk On By and Born and Raised. So I first came out with Serious, then I came out with my EP 6 Feet Under, and I Believe at the same time. So I Believe is oh my goodness, he fell. I Believe is technically a single, but I included it on the album in some locations, and in some locations I have it included on the CD as well. I had a CD that I handed out to people in person. I think I handed out like 500 of those. So yeah, I had 2 editions. One's a rare edition because what happened is the place we got it mastered at messed up and it had a clip in the song. So then we got a second rendering. So I have 2 versions that are floating around in the ether somewhere. So that happened. I started doing gigs and stuff. Like I sang at the Nashville Palace. I sang at other places, competitions, throughout the years. And like I'd say 17 was when I really kind of stopped doing competitions. I wasn't really into them anymore because at that point I was being paid to do a lot more gigs and stuff. And I started doing a lot of busking and other things for different places and different restaurants, and I had a really good time. There was one gig that was really bad. That's for another video. That I had a terrible time at. And then there was also an unorthodox gig that was actually really fun. So that happened too. So I have like 10 years of experience in the music industry. It's amazing to look back and see how much I've done and how much I've sang at, and just a reflection of all the places I've been, like the National Palace. I remember my first gig I did when I was like 12 or something like that. I sang Sirius with Dan Caston. I wasn't paid or anything. I just helped him at his gig, and it was so fun. The restaurant is now defunct. It was called Zanzera's, and I remember the first shirt I ever wore there. It was like this rainbow shirt, and I still have that shirt, and I still wear it all the time. I love that shirt. It's my favorite shirt. It's a really lucky shirt. I used to wear this specific bracelet that was blessed in holy water. One of my friends gave it to me. I used to wear that all the time, and it rubbed off almost all the paint on the beads. I remember I used to have this specific wardrobe for competitions. I remember all the specific jewelry I used to wear, the specific eyeshadow palettes, everything for that. And I remember this. I used to do a lot of color blocking makeup effects. It's just fun to look at and see how much I've changed and how much I've grown over the years. And I kind of wanted to go over this little overview of how I got into music in the first place. It was based off suggestion, recommendations, and just going with the flow, and seeing what happened and looking around. And I hope this entertains you or makes you happy or makes you inspired to do something, because it's just the little things add up and stuff gets amazing. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I really appreciate it. And please share this with people that you think will kind of like this content or anything like that, because I really like making stuff like this, and I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye to the sleeves. Bye-bye to the sleeves. And by the way, my cat bit it.